Have you ever wondered how a Snickers bar is made in the factory? Every single day, millions of these bars are made in US factories. The process is a perfect mix of heavy machinery and sweet ingredients. It all starts with the fluffy bottom layer, which we call the nougat. Factory workers pour in giant bags of sugar and thick corn syrup. Then, they add a special ingredient to make it light and fluffy, egg whites. Giant mixers whip this mixture until it becomes a soft, white cloud. But a Snickers nougat isn't plain white, it has a nutty flavor. So warm, creamy peanut butter is pumped right into the giant mixing bowl. The machine mixes it all until the nougat turns a smooth, light brown. This soft nougat is then squeezed out onto a moving conveyor belt. Heavy steel rollers press the nougat down into a perfectly flat, endless carpet. While the nougat is rolling along, the second layer is being made upstairs. Huge kettles boil milk, sugar and butter to create rich, gooey caramel. Next comes the most important part of a Snickers bar, the peanuts. A Snickers uses about 15 peanuts per bar, which means millions of peanuts daily. The factory roasts these peanuts right on site so they are perfectly crunchy. Once roasted, the hot peanuts are dumped directly into the boiling caramel. A massive mechanical arm stirs the peanuts and caramel together in a giant vat. This creates a sticky, crunchy mixture that smells absolutely amazing. This hot mixture is pumped down through pipes to meet the nougat belt. A special machine drops this peanut caramel mix right on top of the flat nougat. More steel rollers press down on this top layer to make it perfectly even. Now we have a massive, continuous slab of nougat, caramel and peanuts. Right now, the candy slab is way too hot and sticky to cut. It has to go through a long cooling tunnel to harden up. Giant fans blow freezing cold air over the candy as it rides the belt. By the time it comes out the other end, the slab is firm and solid. Now it is time to turn this giant carpet of candy into individual bars. First, sharp circular slitter blades slice the wide slab into long, skinny ribbons. These ribbons of candy run continuously down the line, side by side. Next, they pass under a giant, rapidly chopping blade called a guillotine. The guillotine chops the long ribbons into the exact length of a Snickers bar. Suddenly, the continuous ribbons become thousands of individual, naked candy bars. They travel down the belt, perfectly aligned like little candy soldiers. But they are still missing their most famous ingredient, the chocolate. At the same time, the factory is melting massive blocks of milk chocolate. The chocolate is kept at the perfect temperature so it stays silky and smooth. The bare candy bars ride the conveyor belt directly into the enrober machine. Inside the enrober, the bars pass under a literal waterfall of melted chocolate. The chocolate completely coats the top, sides and ends of every single bar. But what about the bottom? The belt they ride on is actually a wire mesh. A pool of chocolate below the mesh perfectly coats the bottom of the bars. Then, the bars pass under a small, vibrating wire to create a signature detail. This wire makes the familiar wavy pattern you see on the top of every Snickers. At this point, the candy bars look perfect, but the chocolate is totally wet. If we tried to wrap them right now, it would be a messy disaster. So the coated bars go into one final, massive cooling tunnel. They travel through this fridge for about 15 minutes to harden completely. When they emerge, the chocolate is hard, shiny, and ready to be touched. A robotic arm with a camera scans the bars to ensure they look perfect. Any bar that is too small or badly shaped is instantly pushed off the line. The perfect bars are funneled into single-file lines for the wrapping machines. High-speed wrapping machines spool out the iconic brown Snickers packaging. The machine folds the wrapper around the bar and seals the edges with heat. These wrappers are applied so fast it looks like a blur to the human eye. Finally, the wrapped bars drop into cardboard boxes, ready to be shipped. Trucks load up these boxes and deliver them to stores all around the world. And that is the simple, delicious journey of how a Snickers bar is made.